The port of Poros is crowded with large and small boats, some moored and others in motion, those who transport visitors to the various beaches of the island or to Galata opposite. Galata is a seaside resort on the Peloponnesian coast, set in luscious green surroundings. In between Poros and Galata, a narrow strip of sea, only 300 meters wide, plays with the turquoise waters, forming small, picturesque bays. The heart of the town is perched on top of a conical hill, which has a two-story structure with a clock at its peak. This clock, the roloi, is a trademark of Poros. It has stood here for over 75 years, like a watchtower over the whole area, offering a fantastic view to those who climb up as far as here. A walk along the pier is most enjoyable. Boats are anchored along the whole length of the dock. Among them are small cruise ships, fishing kayaks and small craft. There is much movement, especially during the summer months. The liveliness of the port impresses the visitor as soon as he disembarks from the boat. The shops, the cafes, the restaurants all create a special atmosphere. This atmosphere is added to by the side of the 2- and 3-story houses, some of which are neoclassical in design. On the left-hand side of the road, going in a southeasterly direction, there is a spacious square, the Colonna, with a marble monument to the war dead. At the peak of the monument is perched an eagle with its wings half spread. After this square is the square with a town hall, with a characteristic marble fountain. This fountain is tall, cylindrical, with sculpted decoration. There is a third square, even further to the east, Alexandros Korizis Square. Korizis was the Prime Minister of Greece, and his marble bust stands in the center. Round about this bust, beneath the umbrellas which provide protection from the summer sun, there are tables and cafes. The renovated house on the right was the mansion of Korizis, and today it houses the Archaeological Museum of Poros. There are lanes leading from the coastal road up to the roloi. These lanes, with the white houses, blue doors and windows, and whitewashed steps, are very reminiscent of the architecture of the Aegean islands. One of these lanes, the center one before the peak of the hill, passes by the Metropolitan Church, a grey, austere and imposing building. The one-story neoclassical shop of Grivas proudly stands refurbished, reminiscent of past times. Its old doors, with a wonderful design, the white frames which surround them, its walls painted in an open yellow, have literally resurrected. Kapodistrias was the first governor of Greece after the revolution of 1821. The mansion of Deimeses stands tall on a rock nearby. In between the sea and the road is a large neoclassical building designed by the celebrated German architect Ziller. This building is commonly known as the Progymnastria and houses the Military Navy Training School. Despite its great size, the building looks especially elegant. An old red villa with white plaster railings on its balcony and verandas looks over the Strait of Poros from high up. It is thick, with tall pine trees all around it. This is the Villa Galini, which means peacefulness in Greek, perhaps the most beautiful house in Poros, which once hosted Arthur Miller and George Safaris, the Greek poet and Nobel Prize winner. A pleasant surprise is in store with a first view of the beautiful sandy beach of Mikroneori. This is a small, organized beach with a thick pine forest next to it. A short distance from this beach, after the turn in the road, there is another beach, much larger than the first, which forms an open butterfly pattern. The beautiful sands here are also surrounded by thick, verdant pine trees. Greater as the road approaches the magical little harbor of Agapi, with its little sandy beach, crystal clear waters, and the pine trees which literally hang over it. This is perhaps the most picturesque beach in the whole of Poros. The charming little island of Daskalio has on it the church of Panagia and a few, although tall, pine trees. The sanctuary of Poseidon was one of the most important sites of worship in ancient Greece, which began to operate in the late geometric period. The temple was built in the Doric order in the 6th century BC, with 6 columns on its narrow sides and 12 along its long sides. There is at least one column capital from the temple in the Archaeological Museum in Poros town, in which other column capitals from the sanctuary are also exhibited. Is beautiful, with crystal clear waters forming a large butterfly pattern which has a little taverna at its center. Further inwards, there are several cypress trees, pines and olive groves with, at the edge of the bay, clambering up the steep slope of a hill. It is difficult for one to imagine, if one does not already know, that below the peaceful waters of the bay lies a sunken ancient city. This was the second largest ancient city after Calabria. Whenever the waters are calm, the roads and ruins of the houses can be seen on the bed of the sea.